The last two problems on the sample test ask me to use the formulas to calculate the quartiles. So for both of them, I'm given a data set. Where I want to begin is putting them in order. So here I see the smallest number is 1, then 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11. Just to double check, I had originally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. Now written in order, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So when I go to calculate the median, my position function equals n plus 1 over 2. When I do that, I get 8 over 2, which gives me fourth position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Median equals 6 for this data set. When I go to calculate the upper quartile, that's another way of saying Q3. There, the position equals 0.75 times n plus 1. In this case, that gives me 0.75 times 8, or 6. That 6 is not the upper quartile. That 6 is the position of the upper quartile. So it means that in the ordered list, it's the 6th data point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Q3 equals 9. When I calculate the lower quartile, the position function for it is 0.25 times n plus 1. In this case, 0.25 times 8, which gives me 2. Again, that 2 isn't the answer. What it's telling me is where to look for the answer. It's saying that the position is the second position in the ordered list, 1, 2. That means that my lower quartile Q1 has a value of 3. Here in problem 18, we're given a data set with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers, but luckily they're already in ascending order for us. So we can move on to where we're calculating the 5-number summary, and we can easily fill in the first and last answers. The minimum is just the very first thing listed, the smallest thing in our data set, in this case 0.22. The maximum is the largest thing in our data set, in this case 0.81. When we want to find the median, we're going to use the position function for the median. Here it's 8 plus 1 over 2, or 9 over 2, which gives me 4.5. That tells me it's between the 4th and 5th data point. So if we were to number them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, between the 4th and 5th. So to find the median, I'm going to take the 4th plus the 5th divided by 2. 4th data point is 0.40, 5th data point is 0.55, and I'm going to divide it by 2. That gives me 0.95 divided by 2. When I divide that by 2, I should get 0.475. So that tells me that my median is 0.475. It's okay that that's not a number within the list. That absolutely is fine for either your median or your quartiles. It means it's between them. I now need to calculate Q1 and Q3. Q1 is going to be 0.25 times n plus 1 as the position function. So 0.25 times 9 gives me 2.25. It's a little tricky. I need to read this as start at the second data point, move 0.25 towards the next data point. So if I look at the second data point is 0.29. I start there and I add 0.25 times the distance between the data point I'm at and the next data point. The next data point is 0.36 minus the data point I'm at, 0.29. So again, the way I read this number with a decimal when it's for Q1 or Q3, the number in front is the data point I start at, that stands alone at the start, and then I add to that, whatever the decimal amount is, the next number in sequence minus the number that I started at in sequence. If I put this all into my calculator, when I do 0.29 plus 0.25 times 0.36 minus 0.29, I get an answer of 0.3075. I'm going to list that as my Q1, 0.3075. To find Q3, I need to do the same calculation but with 0.75 instead of 0.25. When I do 0.75 times 9, that's where I get 6.75. Again, I need to read this as start at the 6th data point, go 0.75 towards the next data point. So the 6th data point is 0.59. I need to add to that 0.75 times the next data point after the 6th, which is 0.77, minus the 6th data point, 0.59. When I put that into my calculator, 0.59 plus 0.75, parentheses 0.77 minus 0.59, I get an answer of 0.725. So I'm going to take that 0.725 and put it in as my Q3. I now have my 5-number summary. The last thing it asks me for within this section is the IQR. Remember that IQR is just Q3 minus Q1. So the IQR is going to be 0.725 minus 0.3075. When I put that in my calculator, I get an answer of 0.4175 for the IQR. The last thing I'm asked to do in this sample test and on this question is construct a box plot from the data. I want to start out by looking what the smallest and largest values are. 0.22 is the smallest, 0.81 is the largest, so I'm going to start at 0.2 and go by 0.2s. Here's 0.2, here's 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and then because 0.8 would still have something larger than it, I'm going to go out to 1.0. The way that I draw my box plot is I start by putting in the 3 middle numbers, Q1, the median, and Q3. Q1 would be somewhere around here between 0.2 and 0.4. The median, 0.475, would be somewhere around here. And Q3, 0.725, would be somewhere around here. I then connect these numbers into a box. Now that I have my box, I put a line at 0.22, which is about there to connect to my box. I put a line at 0.81, which is about there to connect to my box. I've now constructed the box plot after getting the 5-number summary, so this should be complete.